Welcome to Movie Bitches, Retro Reviews, Episode 2. Tonight we're reviewing Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte, or as Avaryl would call it, Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I like this movie better than Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Me too! I was worried. Because I was like, I don't know. So I had seen this movie years ago, and literally all I remembered was it was pretty complicated and there was a head.
Yes.
That was like, I had like a vague memory of like a house, like a plantation home, right? I had kind of forgotten most of it. So I was watching it like with new eyes because I didn't remember, and I was like, oh, this is great. Wait, I'm into this. There's a little section in the middle that's kind of boring.
The beginning was also really boring for me.
The beginning, well, the opening scene is like, this is a lot of exposition, what's going on. But I was like, Victor Buono!
Of course you were. I knew it. I saw him and I was like, oh, Avryl's going to be very excited.
He wasn't as...
Fabulous?
He wasn't as fabulous as
No.
in Baby Jane. There wasn't as much going on.
Right.
In the background, you know? I was like, no, but I want to know his secret. What really happened to his wife? I'm so glad that you liked it more.
I did. I really...
Like, Baby Jane has more iconic, pop culture moments.
Yes.
And I feel like is weirder.
Yeah.
But this is a better movie. The last 45 minutes, I was in. I was
Right?
like, oh, this is good. Like, I was like, yep, eating it up. Oh, more. What? Wait a minute. Like, it kept twisting and turning, and I was like,
did.
Holy shit.
And so I was waiting for it, because I was going to say, so we watched it separately.
Yeah,
I was back home. I watched it with my mom. Well, that's...
How early did she fall asleep?
10 minutes in, maybe.
Great.
I was watching it though, and I was like, okay, that was a twist that I didn't quite expect. I was expecting certain things. I was like, well, obviously it's going to be this or whatever and whatever. And I was like, oh, but they went this route. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Spoiler alert.
We'll get to there.
So, yeah.
I would say definitely watch the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then watch this.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Because it was like a fun ride. The opening scene is Victor Buono and Bruce Dern. He is very young. Maybe for Bruce Dern, I'm used to seeing him old, so maybe that's why it seemed like he was so young. But we're to believe that he is married and having an affair with Bette Davis. So I had to rewind it because I was like, wait, who's what? Because we haven't met anyone. And they're just throwing names out there, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
I was like, what?
Literally just was like, oh god. I'm put on the movie and I was not having it. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. There's some stuff. Oh my god, this is real heavy exposition. Oh, there's the murder weapon. Dun, dun, dun. And I was like, okay, I get what's going on. Whatever. That's her lover. He's gonna die. I get it.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I don't... I feel like you might have noticed this, but maybe you didn't. So I was watching the movie, and they flash back to
1926.
It starts in 1927 or something. There's a ball. It's like a little debutante situation, right? And they're just going through the dancers, all these things, and then it cuts to Bruce Dern and Bette Davis playing the debutante. It's straight up.
No.
Yes.
I could kill you.
In the earlier shots, not when she comes in with the blood on the dress. That then is a different person with Bette Davis's voice.
No, Papa. I don't want to, Papa.
But they do this thing where she's sort of doing this and having an emotional moment or whatever, and I was like, wait. That's straight up Bette Davis. Mid-40s.
When she was crying.
Bette Davis as debutante age, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
That actually explains a lot.
Right?
Because I was really confused.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, Bette Davis is gonna be with him? But he's so young.
But then it's her.
And then I was like, and then when she comes out in the dress, I was like, oh,
I was confused. This
is someone else.
Wished it away.
And then I was like, wait, who's Bette Davis then?
Yeah.
And then finally they're like, oh, cut to 1964, and I was like, oh, here's Bette Davis.
Yes. No, but it was her. In the scene, I was dying.
That was okay.
And I was like, that was definitely like a Bette Davis note.
Well,
she was like, oh no, there's no one who can play this scene like I can. And then they kept obscuring her, and there was a tree, and then it was like above shots, and it was just like, okay, guys, this is a mess.
It was above shots, yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And then they threw it out the window and went, oh, fuck it, here.
Yeah.
We'll just hire someone who doesn't look like Bette Davis at all.
Which then was really confusing.
All. At all.
So I was like, oh, none of these are Charlotte. Oh, he said Charlotte. Oh, she has blood on her dress. Oh, that's Charlotte. Okay.
Right.
That makes a lot more sense now. That makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
I thought it was just kind of crazy. I was like, whatever.
You're like, well, this movie's weird.
Yeah, I just wrote it. I was just like, well, and that's that.
It really should have started with 1964, the kids spookily coming up to the house, start the movie like Casper. You know, oh, I dare ya, go in that house and steal something, right? That's the crazy house.
And it's the music box.
Where Charlotte lives. Walk up there, and then, have the whole scary thing where she's all sad and, hush, hush, sweet Charlotte, whatever, have the credits.
God, those were so long.
They were really long, but creepy.
She literally is just staring the entire time, making these faces. I was like, oh.
That's acting, Andrew.
Is it?
So that should have been the opening.
Yeah.
Then do some flashbackies throughout.
Well, yeah, my ideal would have been, yes, start with that. The box opens, right? She chases them out, and, like, the kids are laughing at her, whatever.
And the song brings us back in
exactly.
time. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But yeah, this was like, and this is the opening, but this is the opening. Oh, but this is the opening. I was like, oh, I remember this movie being, like, confusing.
Can we talk about my favorite part about this movie?
What's your favorite part about this movie?
Agnes Moorehead.
Oh my god, she's so good.
Was chewing the scenery.
Guess what?
What?
You want to know something?
Yeah.
She's the only person in the movie got nominated for an Oscar. And she won a Golden Globe.
What?
'Cause I can see right through you. You didn't fool me then, and you sure as hell don't fool me now.
She was terrible and fabulous.
Oh, yeah. She was giving me, like, Grandma from the Beverly Hillbillies. It was just very much a lot.
I never watched it, but I know what you mean.
She seemed like she was on a sitcom.
Yeah.
Sweet Charlotte's Plantation, hour or something. She was, and something else.
Mm-hmm. What's going on up there that you don't want me to see?
And yet.
It was crazy.
Loved it.
It was crazy.
Well, it was this whole movie, because I had kind of forgotten about it, like I said. So the whole movie I kept being like, Bruce Dern, Agnes Moorehead, Joseph Cotton. Like, people kept showing up, and I was like, oh, Mary Astor's fucking here. Like, this is crazy. I was very excited.
Yeah.
Do you know Mary Astor?
Not really.
She was, she's most famous for The Maltese Falcon.
Love that movie.
And the reason I remember her is the eyebrows. She had really thin, arched eyebrows with these eyes, and I was just like, oh, love it. So that's her. So this was like her last movie. She played the wife, Bruce Dern's wife, in '64. The neighbor,
the
older woman.
Jewel.
That is correct.
We should talk about how the movie was originally supposed to be Joan Crawford and Bette Davis, right? And then
Joan was a drunk and difficult and whatever.
Things happened, and Olivia de Havilland replaced her. And the funny thing is, she had actually replaced her in another movie, Lady in the Cage, like a year earlier.
Oh gosh.
They had replaced her with Olivia de Havilland specifically, so it's like, wow. But I was thinking about it, and I really think the movie is all the better for it.
100%. I kept being like, how would Joan have fit in this?
How would Joan have fit in this at all?
Right?
Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
I mean, I guess it could have worked. I think this worked better, where it was kind of like this younger, prettier, put together,
sweet. Like, yeah. I had forgotten, spoilers, I had forgotten that she was bad.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about it like, okay, if I'm watching this movie and it's Joan Crawford, I'm immediately like, oh no, she's evil. Like, I'm like, oh no, she's trying to kill Bette Davis.
Right.
Like, I'm already there, right?
Right.
Because of their history, because of everything. But with Olivia de Havilland, you're like, oh, she's so nice. Oh, I really like her. She's kind of really sweet and fabulous. The turn, I had no idea.
At first, I was like, oh, she's so sweet. And then pretty quickly, I was like, oh, no, I don't know. And then it was like, oh, no, they're gaslighting her? And then it was just like levels upon levels. And I was like, oh, that's not where I thought this was going to go.
When Olivia de Havilland turned full-blown evil, that's when I was like living for this movie. Like I was like, oh shit.
Damn you. Now will you shut your mouth?
Like it was so good.
It was.
When she thinks she's killed Joseph Cotton, and then Bette Davis is like losing it, and she's just like, bitch, we are moving this body. Like she just like, gives her that speech in the car. I was like, oh, this is getting good. It was amazing.
It was. She was really good.
She was fabulous. She's my favorite part of this movie.
I think that's probably fair.
She grounded it because I feel like in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, the whole time I'm at least like, oh my God, Joan, like help yourself. Like do something. Don't be such an idiot. Like,
yes.
Yes, you're in a wheelchair, but like get it together, right? Where in this one, Bette Davis is playing both the crazy part and the invalid part.
Right.
And it works, right?
I agree.
Like, ooh, you're just into it.
Well, particularly because it turns out that she's only crazy because they're making her crazy.
Right, like she's a bit of a recluse eccentric, but like...
Right.
She was on the edge and they pushed her.
Yeah.
There's actually only one shot of Joan left in the movie.
Oh, really?
When Miriam arrives at the house, the shot from like up above and the taxi driving in, you can see the person in the back seat's wearing like dark clothes and dark sunglasses, and then Olivia de Havilland opens the taxi and she's like wearing white.
I kind of want them to make a remake of this, and for some reason I want Glenn Close to be in it, and I'm not sure how, but I want her in it.
Well, she could be the Jewel part, the Mary Esther part.
Yeah, but that's so like...
Oh, she gave that great speech to her on the stairs.
If I ever prayed for anything, it was that you would never dare show your face to me again.
Well, it starts, and, well, also George Kennedy shows up as the foreman, and I was like, oh, George Kennedy, like, it kept happening. I was like, oh, look, who's here? And Bette Davis has basically a get off my lawn scene.
Get off my property!
Stand! Look out! Look out up there! Stand!
I was gonna say, you
like,
also could start the movie
great.
with that.
Oh, yeah.
If it's just her with a shotgun shooting at this guy, and you're like, what is this movie?
What's going on?
And then you, like, take us back.
Yes.
That could work, too.
She had a very Miss Havisham thing going on. Like, her gross long hair.
Oh, my God.
Like, definitely smelled.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you thought Bette Davis was chewing the scenery in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Holy shit. There's even more marsh in the South.
Yeah.
The house is much bigger. It's everywhere. Velma! Like, it was just like, she was everywhere. And I loved it.
To be with me. I've lived alone here ever since Papa died.
I did too. It was just so absurd.
The whole thing was so absurd and yet grounded by Olivia de Havilland.
Yeah.
Where you were like, this bitch is crazy. This movie is fucking nuts. Yes, Olivia de Havilland. Well, and she was wearing, they didn't have time to refit all of Joan's clothes because she left. And so it's all her own clothes. She's just wearing her own wardrobe.
Love it. Love it.
Because she's just like, oh yeah, I just have this.
Well, I loved that though too, because she did seem like she had this vibe where she was like from like the big city up north.
Yeah. Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, and she's like, so that worked. I love it. Yeah.
Remember the dinner scene where they're just like, no, you're a bitch. No, you are, you bitch.
Why wouldn't I tell him that his little girl was having a dirty little affair with a married man?
You're a vile, sorry little bitch.
When it breaks down, they're like, isn't this a lovely dinner?
You're like,
here's our champagne coupes. Oh, how did you know where the keys to the cellar were?
Whatever.
And then all of a sudden, she's like, I
escalates.
can't help you. You have to move. And she's like, well, fuck you.
You're a vile, sorry little bitch.
Just like,
She calls her a bitch.
Yes.
Like they said bitch, and I was like, oh, what a difference 2 years made. Like, I was like, what? Well, we talked about Agnes Moorehead enough?
I don't think, not really, no.
Agnes Moorehead is Bette Davis's maid in the movie, her long-suffering maid or whatever. Sounds familiar. And she tries to save her.
Yeah.
She figures out that they're gaslighting her and tries to go in and get her out of the bed, and she's all out of it and everything. And then there's this shot, basically they've been drugging Bette Davis. And Olivia de Havilland comes back in, and she's supposed to not know anyone's been there or whatever, and then she turns and looks at the table, and then the bottle like fades in and fades out, and then zooms in. It was like, just in case you missed it, the bottle is missing. Like, it was so funny. This is some kind of drug.
That's some kind of drug, ain't it?
It was so much.
That's some kind of drug that you've been giving her.
Right? Then Agnes Moorehead does exactly what you're not supposed to do when you're in a horror thriller. She says, I found out your evil plan.
Oh, right.
I'm going to the police as I stand on top of this staircase. I was like, no, Thelma!
No, she shouldn't have. She should have just been like, fine, I'll leave. Bye. I'm just trying to take care of her. Whatever. Bye. Right? She should have just fucking run away.
Yes.
I love Agnes Moorehead, though.
Oh my God.
She was always my favorite part of Bewitched.
I mean, duh. Whenever she showed up, you knew it was a good episode.
Right? Oh my God, absolutely.
It's like, oh good, Darren's not gonna have a lot of scenes. Great.
Both Darrens were the worst.
But the second one was gross.
He was far worse.
Dick York was at least kind of cute.
Yeah.
Dick Sargent, you were like, ugh.
Yeah.
It didn't help that they also like went to color, so you were like, ah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we know that they're gaslighting her, and then you see they have all these crazy sort of like artistic, for the 60s flashbacks of the ball and the faceless people at the ball, and she's dancing, and it was all very kind of like,
I loved it.
Creepy. Well, so Bette Davis, in her like drug-addled, crazy stupor, shoots Joseph Cotton. And you think he's dead. I thought he was dead.
I went back and forth. I was like, oh, is he? Oh, I was like, oh fuck, he's dead. And I was like, oh, maybe this was fake.
It's a long con.
And then I was like, oh no, fuck, he's gotta be dead. Yeah. I was like, he's gotta be dead.
They like talk about it. They roll up his body.
But so
put it in the car.
But here's my thing, though.
Drive around with it.
It was a fake body.
No, it was his body.
Really?
Yeah. Because remember they kept showing the top half of his head in the rug popping out? He was just pretending to be dead.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then I was like, no, then he's gotta be really dead. And then, when he rolls into the lake, doesn't she see Bruce Dern's face?
No, we see his face under the water.
It was his face.
Yeah.
They look too similar to me.
They're driving in the car, they're trying to dispose of the body. It's very Hitchcock. It's very like, you want them to get away with it, but you don't, but you do. Bette Davis is like, I can't do it, Miriam. I can't.
I can't touch him.
And she just fucking bitch slaps the shit out of her. Get it the fuck together, basically. And I was like, yes. That turn, Olivia de Havilland sold the shit out of it for me.
She really did. I can't believe she didn't get she was really great in it, I thought.
Yes. And so then they get back to the house, and she still thinks she's killed Joseph Cotton, and then she sees him covered, Swamp Thing on the stairs, and I was like, oh shit, shit's getting crazy. I mean, her like guttural, like feral screams going down those stairs, like that was the best acting in that movie of Bette Davis. Like I was like, oh, this is really good.
That's true.
I love that part.
Yeah. I mean, really, like you said, like the last half of it, I guess, probably was like really great.
It's like tight. Like the first half needs some editing.
Yes.
The second half is just like, shit, what?
Well, it just keeps escalating.
I could just see Charlotte's face when those doctors at the institution call you win.
They'll never let out.
It did a good enough job of being like crazy, like they were gaslighting her, but also she's kind of crazy anyway, but also this twist, but also she's playing her, but also there was a subplot of her blackmailing the lady, but then also she's out for herself and he's out for him. It was like there was a lot going on, and I was like, yes. So yeah, I dug this movie.
I did too. I was
into it.
It took me a while, and then I was like really into it. I enjoyed it.
It was camptastic.
It was.
And still like much a good movie.
It was like a real movie.
That was campy.
Yes.
That's some kind of drug that you've been giving her.
So, cheers.
Cheers to Hush 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 Sweet Charlotte. Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Hush hush, sweet Charlotte.
Sweet Charlotte.
Charlotte. Charlotte.
This is some kind of drug, isn't it? It was really so much. I had a lot of fun watching this movie.
Cheers to Agnes Moorehead.
Cheers to Agnes fucking Moorehead.